According to that, Ukraine observed 181 million information security incidents in 2022. So this has been published in bankingforsecurity.com. The next piece of news comes from darknetlive.com and it has been published on 18th of February 2023. So based on the dark web drugs vendor Fire Bunny USA busted. Next comes from hackit.com, that is one of our reliable resources for providing this YouTube videos about cybersecurity, data breaches, data leaks, and cyber crimes. So based on that, Indian ticketing platform Rail-Yatri, if I pronounce the name correctly, hacked 31 million impacted. It has been published on 20th of February 2023. The next piece of news comes from securityaffairs.com. So based on that, GoDaddy discloses a new data breach. It has been published on 18th of February 2023. The next piece of news comes from justice.gov. That is the Department of Justice of the United States. So seven defendants charged with $1 million identity theft and fraud scheme. It has been published on 16th of February 2023. The next piece of news comes from bankingforsecurity.com. So based on that, the Norwegian authorities says $5.86 million from Lazarus Group. It has been published on 20th February 2023. The next piece of news comes from news.yahoo.com. So based on that, leaked document shows how Russia plans to take over Belarus. It has been published on 21st of February 2023. The other piece of news comes from gbhackers.com. It has been published on 20th of February 2023. So CEO fraud busted. Hacker group stole 38 million in a few days. From JDSupra.com, there is a piece of news on 20th of February 2023 that O'Neill Industries Incorporation reports recent data breach. The next piece of news comes from .esports.com. On 20th of February 2023, so alleged Activision data breach reveals Call of Duty's 2023 plans, including MW2 and possible new COD. The other piece of news comes from JDSupra.com again. So it has been published on 20th of February. So Tom James Company files notice of data breach affecting 8,656 individuals. From NJ.com, there's this piece of news that a New Jersey hospital suffered a data breach. Now a patient is suing. It has been published on 21st of February 2023. Again from Yahoo, and this time from this subdomain finance.yahoo.com, there is this piece of news that has been published on 21st of February 2023 that hackers scored data center logins for some of the world's biggest companies. From the journal.ie, there is this piece of news that has been published. Based on that, Drusilla to begin contacting 20,000 people whose data was compromised during HSC cyber attack. From WFMZ.com, there is this piece of news that has been published on 20th of February 2023 that LVHN reports cyber attack by Russian ransomware gang. From itsecurity.guru.org, there is this piece of news that has been published on 21st of February. So based on the new report reveals Britons are phishing bait for online criminals. From cybershafarat.com, there's this post has been published on February 21st, 2023, that blacklisting channel tied to Killnet. Killnet. So for those of you who are not aware of Killnet, it's a like pro-Russian group that declared war, cyber war on like many Western entities, including even the hospital and medical care centers. So mainly they conduct these like DDoS attacks. So the other piece of news comes from hjlawfirm.com. The site has been published on February 21st, and based on that, Eureka Casino Resort data breach investigation. It's like basically an investigation about that data breach. So the other piece of news comes from TechCrunch.com, and based on that sensitive US military emails spill online, it has been published on February 21st, 2023. Next comes from Reuters.com. There is this piece of news that has been published on 21st of February 2023 that Russian state TV website goes down during Putin's speech. From mybroadband.co.za, there is this piece of news that Porsche South Africa suffers ransomware attack. It has been published on February 21st, 2023. From bankingformsecurity.com, there is this piece of news that 5 lawsuits filed in ransomware breach affecting 3.3 million. It has been published on February 22nd, 2023. There is this piece of news that has been published in cybernews.com. So based on that, this Washington State city allegedly hit by ransomware, and it has been published on 22nd of February 2023. There is this piece of news that has been published in the cyberexpress.com. So according to the German's Makler's, Germany Makler software breach listed among Blockbuster's victim list. So it has been published on 22nd of February 2023. There is a piece of news from this website, the 74million.org, that trove of Los Angeles students' mental health records posted to dark web after cyber attack. The next piece of news comes again from the cyberexpress.com. So based on that change, the negotiator discussed between Christoph Creamery, Lockheed Crumble. Yeah, probably you will know that Lockheed is one of the most famous ransomware leak sites and since for the year 2022 and 2023. And on average, on a weekly basis, we will at least see a couple of victims has been announced in this terror. Like on your website. The next piece of news comes from again justice.gov, that is the United States Department of Justice. So a man pleaded guilty to $55 million investment for fraud scheme. It has been published on 23rd of February 2023. The next piece of news comes from weepingcomputer.com, and according to that, Telos investigating legal stolen source code employee data. It has been published on 23rd of February 2023. The last but not the least comes again from Bleeping Computer, and based on that, Fruit Giant Dual suffers ransomware attack impacting operations. It has been published on February 23, 2023. Thanks for paying attention. See you